Yet again, one of the most important fights in Call of Dragons, every single KvK, is of course fights in Zone 5, right? In our KvK, we are having 3 versus 3, and still after like 3 or 2 days, we still not have decided who actually won the KvK. That's why every single day, these past 3 days here have been fights and fights and fights. Of course, a lot of merits have been gained and a lot of severely wounded troops and dead troops have been happened in this fight, right? And hopefully the Steel Hell Pirates, which is my alliance, is going to win this KvK, which is with allied with 1UP and BR, right? We are fighting against HD, FSK, and the other one was FA, right? So basically, fights have been going on for such a long time that everybody who is fighting has like couple of marches left, right? And whoever saved up some elixirs maybe will be the winner of the whole KvK. But until then, we have enough time to actually fight, and whenever we are fighting in Call of Dragons, that's basically the most fun we can get from this game, because, well, it's pretty well known that Call of Dragons has the best PvP gameplay out of every single Kingdom Builder game, right? So let's back to the live action right now. We are fighting against FSK, and we are using 4 marches, right? And my marches are Nico and Gwenwyn, and we are using Barbed Manticore with Nico and Gwenwyn, and also the Iron Tusk, simply because my Falgrim is not ready yet to be used for PvP open field, because he's just 5111, right? The next one is Maggrat Zayda, which is the best march for every single archer player in Call of Dragons. Maggrat is 5551 and Zayda is awakened, right? Of course, I'm using Shadow Manticore, which has 3-star barbarism, and it actually helps a lot, right? And let's move on to the third one, which is Indicentara, which have been my revelation. I have been using Indicentara as a support march in order to utilize the 50% attack bonus and 10% damage reduction. Also, Infirm from the Indies is pretty cool also, right? And you guys know how much I rate healing in Call of Dragons, right? So that's another reason. On Indicentara, I'm using Sand Lizard, and as an artifact, it's Heart of Gamasi, right? And also, one important aspect on Indicentara, we are using Wyverns. They are more tanky troop type for archers than normal archers, in my opinion. So longer like support march will stay alive. Better it will be for my all other troops, right? And yeah, the last one, which is Kinnara Mu Hsiang. Both of the heroes are awakened, and I'm using 3-star Snow Peak Rock, which has a 3-star concentration. Basically, I have only 2 3-star war pits. Maybe it's not a great achievement, and maybe I should not really say it's only 2, but yeah, I managed to get 2 3-star war pits. First one was Snow Peak Rock, and the second one, which happened like maybe 1 month ago, is Shadow Manticore, right? One more important thing which we have to mention, it's been like couple of days since, maybe 1 week since I got my first tier 5 troop, which is archers, of course, and honestly I can say it's been amazing to play as a tier 5 with the tier 5 troops in this KvK, especially for the zone 5 fights, because the difference is huge, right? The difference is huge. How much damage I can deal to the mages, how much tankier I am in fights, and of course, like whenever I see how fast the HP bar is getting low to my enemies whenever I'm hitting, that's why I was grinding for such a long time, and hopefully this is the time when I can actually enjoy the fights. And yeah, first kinda KvK with my tier 5 troops. I'm gonna show at the end of the video how much merits I already got since fighting with tier 5 troops for maybe like 2 weeks maximum, or 1.5 weeks. So basically, yeah, all the fun, all the merits we are getting. This is what we have been doing for a long time, grinding Call of Dragons as a tier 4 player for basically more than 2 years. And yeah, it's been great. Honestly, the amount of merits we have been getting, I actually posted in on YouTube the post with the photo of the merits which we have been getting, and yeah, everybody can say that these have been great merits, especially since we're gonna say that we have been mainly fighting against FSK and HD. Of course, in terms of merits, HD have been kinda easier because they have couple of tier 4 troops, but fights against FSK have been same amount kinda in zone 5 especially, and at least they are really strong, right? So yeah, like some people might say that archers are not the wisest choice to main. I guess everything kind of depends what you like in Call of Dragons. I always liked the range gameplay, and when I started the Call of Dragons journey, I knew that mages was having the highest range, but at the same time, I felt that it was kind of easier to play Call of Dragons with mages when you have one troop type which has a lower range, and yeah, they have more damage, but in terms of range at the beginning it was a big factor in my opinion, right? And not in general, like it's really easier to play Call of Dragons whenever almost nobody has like tier 5 troops, and of course some people might have it who are investing funds, but generally not much of a marches. And there is a lot of tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 players still on the KVK or Kingdom. At that time, yeah, it just seems like a wise choice, and still till this day, I believe if you're gonna start your gameplay with Waldir as your mage and main hero and slowly awaken your first archer, that's a good way of fighting, right? A good way of fighting and good way of also having a good archer main with like couple of mage hero pairs, which are basically always fine. So yeah, you can see what's happening around the battlefield. Once we are pushing, take a second time they are pushing. Whoever overextends loses the fights, because these kind of fights are mainly fights of nutrition, right? Whoever have more troops, tier 5 troops of course, is going to be basically the winners, right? So yeah, you can see we are having still almost full HP with our hero pairs. That's good because we are using healers in our marches, like Maggrat Zayda is healing, Indicentara is healing, Nico and Gwenwyn the only march which is not healing, but even Kinnara and Mu Hsiang is also healing, right? And that's the idea I'm having about open field PvP gameplay. If you are having a lot of troops in general, I would suggest you to try out healing on basically every single march, and you will be surprised how much merit you are going to get from the fights, right? Here I can easily move up, but since we don't really have much troops upside, I guess, yeah, maybe right now we can easily move. Yeah, since like healing also gives you merits and healing also helps you to survive fights for a longer time, I believe healing is just great for PvP, right? Great for whenever I was tier 4, I was enjoying my gameplay as a tier 4 with a lot of heals. And as soon as I unlocked my first tier 5 archers, I believe healing got even better because, well, now I'm dealing more damage, and well, I'm using such a healing which is whenever you are dealing more damage and defeating more enemy troops, you are healing more, right? And that's the way of healing Maggrat actually has. So yeah, my bet was always that like archers are having high physical attack. If you are hitting targets, I'm pretty sure archers are hitting too much damage, right? But always the problem is to survive for a longer. So I always believe that if I can play archers well, which means I can deal damage in fights, healing should be always good, right? This is how like mainly this kind of games works. Like if you are having ranged units and ranged hero pairs and troop types which can regenerate heals, regenerate troops while attacking, yeah, I have seen a lot of games broken because of that. So I believe one of the games can be Call of Dragons. The amount of heals we are getting introduced to the game, not only for archers, I believe, but also for infantry. And yeah, we can see Kuma, right? Kuma is another choice, another great choice. We always knew that infantry needed some defensive stats, but well, draining life, healing, HP bonuses, I guess it can work, right? Like with the healing, without defensive, lot of defensive stat, it can actually work. So it was another indicator for me that healing in this game was actually really good. That's another reason why I'm trying to put my healing rate and advanced chain strike on every single warped which I have for archers and I'm building. That's why my Shadow Manticore, my Snow Peak Rogue actually has healing on every single like have healing on as an advanced chain strike, and also every single hero pair besides Nico and Gwenwyn has a healing hero, right? So yeah, so far I believe my style of gameplay is having a good success because I got really good amount of merits in fights, and not only in fights, in total already. Since like half of this season I was tier 4, and like another half, basically like mainly zone 5 have been the zone when I unlocked tier 5. So zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 and zone 4 I was still tier 4 player, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of time, right? Yeah, in this fights, unfortunately, we have a lot of targets as infantry because they are launching a lot. Actually, not because we don't have another choice, but yeah, I believe in some situations that dealing damage to infantry is a good choice, especially when you are defending, right? In these cases, if I will move up, it will be a bad decision from my side because I will get targeted by this mage group, which is not a good way of playing, right? But right now I will try to deal damage to backline a little bit, but it's always risky. But if my other ranged ally members will move up, of course I'm going to also move up. But I believe this player made a mistake at that spot, but I have no idea how he managed to survive there, right? Alright, I can move up a little bit, but not too much. Yep. Yeah. Also, yeah, we have another. We are getting basically a little bit sandwiched, but I believe this guy made a little mistake by popping up so fast. We can move up easily. Yep. Let's defeat these mages and then we're gonna focus on FSK. I guess HT decided to join the party also. Let's help out our... Yep, we are getting hit by multiple sides. Let's help our mage players. Whenever you're gonna see cavalry rushing on your allies, my advice would be to target those ones because they are going to destroy your mage players. Yeah, I thought this one was already done, but... Alright, time to move. Unfortunately, my heroes started using artifacts in a horrible spot, but all good. I believe we managed to escape that awkward situation. Yeah, well, enemies deployed everything what they got. That's why we have to move back, but at the same time, I believe we have a perfect opportunity to deal damage to the targets, which we always like to do, right? Here we are kind of safe. Right, as soon as we're gonna defeat this couple of marchers, we're gonna have free time dealing damage to these archers, to these mages. So basically we are moving forward, right? Something tells me we are going to get a lot of merits from these fights, and not only because it's a long-term fight, but also the amount of times we deal damage to mages. That's a big factor always for me to understand that merits are going to be great, right? Merits are going to be great. Yeah, let's attack. Yeah, unfortunately there is like too much infantry. I can't really focus on dealing damage to something else. Plus we are fighting on their territory. It's also a big aspect for sure, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to move up and deal some damage to these targets. Yeah, this guy is invisible. Yeah, we have to deal damage to this infantry, right? Like, this is the case where you just can't avoid doing that, right? Because if you are not going to do that, it will be impossible for everybody to actually deal damage to these people, and they are the main targets, right? Whoever defeats these ones and us here is going to win this fight, and hopefully it will be us. I bet this is not even decided who will be the winner of this fight, but this is like basically 2 versus 1. Yeah, right. I thought, yeah. Sometimes when lags like that happens, it's really awkward because you think that enemy is moving up, but they are not, right? Alright, let's move up. We have infantry inside there, and I'm not the only mage, only ranged unit which is going up, so we can easily deal damage to these mages. And yeah, I guess we did the correct choice, right? This is the difference between being tier 5 and tier 4. It would be impossible for me to stand there and deal damage to these mages and archers, because I would be basically demolished whenever they would target my marches, right? I have no idea why this guy is, like, basically giving us merits, but I guess thanks to him, we have a chance to move up, right? Can I deal damage? Yep, I can, because these people are dealing damage to our infantry, which is not bad. Alright, let's move back. I just don't want to be the last person, like first person fighting, because the auto switch feature will be turned on, and yep, it will be devastating from my side. Maybe we can deal damage to this one. Alright, now it's a perfect time. We have infantry in front of us, and we can actually move up. And us being tier 5 player will allow us to tank some damage. And yeah, this is a New Year's gift for us as an archer players, to deal damage to mages, which is perfect. Yeah, nice fights, right? As I said, like, it was looking really bad for us at first when we were getting sandwiched, but as I said, as soon as we're gonna be defeating this infantry, we will have some free time hitting those ranged players, and that's what actually happened, right? Yeah, finally we have enough march speed to catch those ones, and yeah, our infantry is still standing there, which is nice. Yeah. Plus, they are low HP, and you know that whenever enemy is low HP, you are healing a lot whenever you are attacking with your advanced chain strike, so like perfect fight for us. They are stuck here, so congratulations for them. It was a nice mistake to overcharge at us, because yeah, I believe that it was pretty obvious. Yeah, you sure you want to attack me here, my friend? Yeah, go away. Yeah, this is perfect. This is actually perfect. Yeah, I have no idea what this guy wants. Maybe we can... Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah, I guess he made a mistake once more. Right now we deal so much damage to backline that I can't really stop. I don't even want to hit the infantry, and that's the reason why we are getting damaged right now. Yeah. Now it's our turn to not over chase, but since they are just standing here, giving us chance to just deal damage, why not, right? Yep. Yep, why not? Because sometimes, like whenever we are fighting, because we are having so much heals, the videos are too long, I'm not gonna lie. Because I like to use my full marches at my best, because that's how I'm gonna understand how well I perform, right? If I'm gonna send my marches and refill, especially when I'm taking a video, it will be impossible for you guys to just, you're gonna like just start counting or what? Like, yeah, it's better to have one direct number, the merit amount, and yeah, there we go. That's the reason why we are still fighting, and that's the reason why Maggrat and Zayda is still like, they only lost like 25% HP or something, which is yeah, really surprising. Alright, let's move up. I guess we are making another mistake. This will happen for sure. This cavalry will charge on us. Yeah, that's like hardest part. Now let's see if we're gonna survive. Let's see if we're gonna survive. Let's see if we're gonna survive. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We have to hit at the same time. Yeah, we are getting damaged. No! Run! Can we run? No, yes. Alright, let's turn on. These emeries should be going home. Yeah, that's the mistake I was speaking about, right? That's the mistake I was speaking about. It was kinda obvious. As soon as I saw those cavalry players, I knew that something would happen. And when I saw how many infantry players we had during that fight, yeah, that's the mistake, which would be costly, in my opinion. But let's just try to deal damage at this point while we are getting back, because my marches are really low. Like, whenever your marches are at this point, not a single healing will help you, right? Not a single healing will help you. That's the main reason why it's always better to play defensive, especially as an archer, because, yeah, archers are defensive march, right? Yeah, now this infantry is going to run at us. Alright, let's run, let's run. How long they are going to run? Yeah. I wish I could deal damage to, like, these guys, because we are basically having nothing. Alright, Kinnara is going home, and let's be aggressive, and let's check how much merits we got, right? I have no idea why these people are so scared of me here, but we are low. You can see the amount of troops I got while I have been fighting for these couple of days. Yeah, 2.5. Generally, every day I have 2.5 or 3 million wounded troops in my hospital, but somehow I still managed to fight and get some merits. As I said, this is the merits we are having so far in this KVK, hoping to get 20 million while playing basically mainly as an archers. And in our fights, yes, 146k 4x trade here, 4x. In the Centara, our healers and buffers even got 24, right? 73k from the Nico and Gwenwyn, and 82k from Kinnara and Mu Hsiang. GG's, right? GG's. I believe this was and is a pretty good result, and hopefully you guys are liking it. And that's the archer gameplay which we grinded for 2 years, right? As always, thanks for watching. I would highly appreciate if you guys would like the video. Subscribe, like, and comment. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning, and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.